So this is my 2019 STI. As you guys saw in earlier videos, it has a brand new engine freshly built by Josh Bader himself that was put together in the driveway over a single weekend. Hopefully you guys have seen that video series. If not, I'll put an eye somewhere up here. But at the time of filming, it was only a week old with 1,000 miles on the clock. And furthermore, it recently rolled out the dyno about 25 or 24 hours before the track session. Also, I just want to say big thanks to Steve for the bass tune. So what's the logical thing to do with a fresh build that was put together over a weekend in a driveway? You take it to the track. So my whole rationale for taking a freshly built car, or let's say engine, to the track was to perform a shakedown in an environment that would be harsher than what I would normally encounter on the street. So this track day would include 5 20-minute sessions at the Ridge Motorsports Park. So fun fact about the Ridge, it was designed by the same designer of Thunderhill Raceway Park in California. I see all you California guys tracking. Good on you guys. So the Ridge is a 2.4-mile circuit with over 300 feet of elevation change and this nice, sweet 50-foot plunge down the corkscrew. So pretty cool. So did everything go as planned? Nope. Is it faster than my previous setup? Well, let's just see what happened. All right, so here we are at the track. Everything is all set up. But yeah, it should be a fun time. Okay, so here we are, first session. I'm not going to record or show you guys all of the sessions. You guys will just be bored out of your mind. But there goes Roger in his full bolt-on STI with a Cobb 20G. His first time at the track. I'm really proud of his progression throughout the day. But here we go, first warm-up session. Not really going to take it too hard. Tires are still cold, of course. Oh, rev limiter, goddammit. Here we are coming off the straight. Everything looks good as far as oil temperatures and all the readings off the access port. So we'll give it a nice good hot lap. Tires are warm. Unfortunately, we did come up to traffic. We'll show you guys that in just a minute. So here we are, we came up onto some traffic. I think that's an F80 M3 in front of us and a Z06. And if memory serves me correctly, that is a teacher student doing a lead follow. So we'll give them a little bit of room and a little bit of respect. I think they give us a point by in this section right here. Unfortunately, we are in a beginner's group and there's only 3 sections on the entire track where you can pass, and this is one of them. Unfortunately, we did come up to some more traffic with this BRZ right in front of us, but that's okay. There is another passing section right after these sets of turns.
Oh yeah. This Corvette's gonna own me on the straights, I bet you. So.
Come on. I think you might take him if you're stopped.
So here we are coming up to the passing section. BRZ gives us a point by. Thank you very much for that. So I'm going to take this a little bit faster than the previous lap. We are running at about a 1:59 to a 2-minute flat pace. And so far everything is looking good. Oil temperatures were around 240. It's already starting to beep at me. So 240 is where I have my gauge set up to flash and yell at me. So that gives me a little leeway. So once it reaches about 260, that's pretty much my cutoff point. I mean, this is a brand new engine after all. I don't want to stress it out too much, but so far everything is looking good until later on this happens. So it was at this point of the lap where I noticed that the oil temperatures were surpassing the 250 mark. Coolant temperature stayed steady around 220 degrees, so no big deal. Coil radiator was really performing well. And this is the part where I called it quits. Oil temperatures on the gauge were an indicated 270 degrees.
Sorry, man, I got a pit. Ah, man, this sucks, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed, but to be perfectly honest with you, the car just simply wasn't ready to be on the track at this time.
Right when I was about to start getting it.
Man, coming off of that back.
Hope I didn't pop an intercooler hose.
Huh?
Hope I didn't pop an intercooler hose.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. But you feel that?
I did, yeah. Is that a fuel cut?
Huh?
Fuel cut?
Yeah, I got a pit. Yeah, I definitely popped the hose.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, dude. That's what that pop was.
Yeah.
Well, that's the end of today's session, boys and girls. Pop the intercooler hose on track. Yeah, I'd accelerate and it just wouldn't go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No boost.
Probably popped. Jumps are staying good though.
Yeah.
240. So.
I think the ambient temperature helped a lot there.
Yeah, I think so. I know I gotta do something about this intercooler hose. Another intercooler hose popped off. This one right here. Yep, it's gonna be hard to get to.
So it's been a couple weeks since that track day, and I've done quite a few things to the engine, as you can see, but we'll address the elephant in the room in just a minute. Okay, so let's take a look at the engine bay. But one thing that I added since the track day was the IAG turbo blanket, which you can see right there. Also, the Grim Speed heat shield, which is not only ceramic coated, but it also has that gold reflective tape at the bottom. So in addition to the turbo blanket and the heat shield, as you guys can see right here, I did wrap the intercooler piping in this gold DEI, authentic stuff, not the fake stuff, reflective gold tape. Although I will admit, I am not a fan of the way it looks, especially when we've got all these colors going on, but it is functional. I have noticed that, using my thermometer, my infrared thermometer, there was a significant drop in heat heat. But I'm still in the testing phase of that. Also, I wrapped the intake, so that should help out. Surprisingly, the radiator did surprisingly well at the track. So coolant temperatures were about 220 degrees, so that was cool. The problem I was having is with oil temperatures. So oil temperatures skyrocketed to about 280 degrees after the third lap, and after that, I just called it quits and pitted. Now, one thing that will be going on the car before the next track day is an aftermarket oil cooler. I do have one on hand. I just need to install it before the next track day. So with those heat issues that I just mentioned, the car drives just fine, driving normally down the street on the highway, doing small pulls here and there. So the only time I have issues with heat is at the track under sustained load at high RPMs. Obviously, going at the track is going to be a lot more demanding than drag racing and just doing pulls on the street in a straight line. So thankfully, the engine is mechanically sound. Big thanks to Bader for building a killer engine. Also, my buddy Clint, also known as Cali WRX on YouTube, who tracks this car often, also recommended to upgrade the radiator to the Ron Davis radiator, which is actually a radiator / oil cooler combo, and he's had great success with that. Unfortunately, that thing is like $1,000. As far as the heat issues with the turbocharger, of course, a bigger turbo is going to cause or going to create more heat. So I was a little bit lazy on not installing the turbo blanket and the heat shield. Kind of my fault, but you know what? It is what it is. Also, on a side note, check this out. So this is the DEI titanium wrap that I put on my aftermarket pair and header, and check this out. This thing burned. Let me get you some better evidence. Here's some nice crisp DEI wrap carnage right here. So this all happened right after the track. I noticed this right after I got home and I was changing my oil, because of course that's what you want to do most of the time. Here's some more burnt titanium wrap. So interesting. Oh God, I'm gonna get itchy later. Also, before you guys mention it, I did do a makeshift hood scoop block off plate with cardboard and some duct tape. Let's just say it didn't turn out very well, and I did notice some increased coolant temperatures. So, but you know, it's not definitive. There's just more testing to do on that, to be honest with you. So with that said, even though I do have the car back, the car is still in the build process until I get the fuel system, injectors, and all that good stuff installed in the car. Dyno numbers from the last video are not final, so still a lot more room to grow. So once I get everything in the car, we'll go ahead and revisit the dyno. Hopefully we'll make the numbers that we want to make, and hopefully in the future we'll get those heat issues dialed out. Anyways, I really thank you guys for, you know, following me during the whole build process. I can't thank Josh enough for helping me out with this build. Like I said before, the car or the engine is mechanically sound. Nothing wrong with the engine so far. No knock, especially the tune was awesome by Steve. He did what he can do. But anyways, that is it. A lot more to come on the channel. That is it. Thanks for watching, and we will talk to you guys later. Peace out, guys.